We were a bit confused when we found out about the Samsung Galaxy S Advance. Spec-wise, it's a Galaxy S 1.5 if you will, sitting in between the Galaxy S and the S2, and it's priced accordingly. But if you're confused which one to go for, we're here to help you. Design-wise, both look very similar from the front. The S Advance has slightly less surface area thanks to the 4-inch screen. When you turn it around though, the back and sides are very different. The S Advance is a little bit wedge-shaped and is thicker at 9.7mm, whereas the S2 is 8.7mm and is flatter. We reckon the S Advance is a tad more stylish with a little bit more chrome and a little bit more edge. However, anyone who wants a simpler, slimmer handset can opt for the S2. When it comes to the screen, the Galaxy S Advance is 4 inches and is Super AMOLED, whereas the S2 is 4.3 inches and Super AMOLED Plus. Despite being bigger, thanks to the non-pentile display, the S2 is just as sharp as its little brother. Both are vibrant with saturated colours and deep dark blacks, coupled with great viewing angles. When it comes to what's inside the devices, the user interface is TouchWiz 4.0 on both. The S Advance has Android Gingerbread, whereas the S2 has the latest greatest ice cream sandwich despite being an older phone. Most users won't notice too much of a difference, but any keen-eyed person out there will see that ICS adds a whole host of cool perks, such as a neat task manager and swipeable notifications. As far as the camera goes, the Samsung Galaxy S Advance is a 5-megapixel shooter, whereas the S2 is 8. That means the S2 will give you better detail, though both offer great colour reproduction and an excellent flash. Video is a real differentiator. The S Advance offers 720p video recording, whereas the S2 offers 1080p. While the quality is comparable, because of the continuous autofocus, the S2 is much better as it can go in macro mode. When it comes to connections, both offer NFC variants, but as standard they come with 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth as well. The S Advance has 8GB of storage on board, whereas the S2 has 16, that's double as much. Both are expandable up to an additional 32GB. They also both have dual-core processors. While the S Advance has a 1 GHz dual-core processor, the S2 has a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor. Now this is virtually identical and both will be plenty powerful for the standard UI functions and 3D gaming. Battery-wise, the S Advance is a little bit better. This is probably due to the slightly underclocked processor and the smaller screen. Both lasting around a day, the S Advance may be a little bit more. All in all, the Galaxy S2 is a better phone, naturally, being about £30 to £40 more expensive. While we prefer the design of the S Advance, and the smaller screen may suit many people out there, the S2 wins in terms of sheer specs, screen and storage.